My dear old friends, I would like your assistance in one of those little experiments with which I amuse myself here in my study. Please be seated, Madam Wycherley. Mr. Medburn. I hope you will be comfortable there, Mr. Gascoigne. My dear Colonel Killigrew, you are looking well. This rose, the same withered and crumbling flower, blossomed 55 years ago. It was given me by Sylvia Ward, whose portrait hangs there, and I meant to wear it in my bosom at our wedding. But my beautiful young Sylvia grew ill. It was not a serious disorder. I prepared a prescription for her. She swallowed it and died on our bridal evening. For 55 years, the rose she gave me has been treasured between the leaves of this old volume. Now, would you believe it possible that this rose of half a century could ever bloom again?
Nonsense. You might as well ask if an old woman's withered face could ever bloom again.
See.
That's a very pretty trick. Well, tell us, how is it done?
Did you never hear of the Fountain of Youth, which the Spanish adventurer Ponce de Leon went in search of 2 or 3 centuries ago?
But did Ponce de Leon ever find it?
No, for he never searched in the right place. The famous Fountain of Youth, if I am rightly informed, is located in the southern part of the Floridian Peninsula, not far from Lake Macaco. Its source is hidden by several gigantic magnolias, which, though centuries old, are kept as fresh as violets by the virtues of this wonderful water. An acquaintance of mine, knowing my curiosity in such matters, has sent me what you see in this vase.
And what may be the effect of this fluid on the human body?
You shall judge for yourself, my dear Colonel. All of you, my respected friends, are welcome to as much of this admirable fluid as may restore to you the bloom of youth.
And for you, my dear Dr. Heidegger?
For my own part, Having had so much trouble in growing old, I am in no hurry to grow young again. With your permission, therefore, I will merely watch the progress of the experiment.
Well, it appears at least to be good vintage. No doubt I've taken worse in my time.
Wait a moment. Before you drink, my respectable friends, would it not be well that, with the experience of a lifetime to direct you, you should draw up a few general rules for your guidance in passing a second time through the perils of youth? Think what a sin and shame it would be if, with the particular advantages of your knowledge of life, you should not in second youth become patterns of virtue and wisdom to all the young people of the age.
Do you suggest that our lives have not been patterns of virtue and wisdom, my dear doctor?
Come, my dear friends. Colonel Killigrew, had ever a young man a more promising future than yours? Family, wealth, a handsome face and figure. Was it virtuous or wise in you to trample on the advantages with which you were endowed? Your fortune and your health squandered in the pursuit of sinful pleasures? And you, my respectable old friend, were you not an honored leader of the people? A man chosen to positions of power and trust? Was it virtuous or wise in you to betray that trust in exchange for small quantities of money? And, my dear Medbourne, who would have believed 40 years ago that all your shops and warehouses would be lost in one foolish speculation, and you left to live as best you could by cultivating the kindnesses of strangers? And all three of you, gentlemen, were you not once at the point of cutting each other's throats for the beauty of Madame Wycherley? And, my dear widow, why have scandalous stories been told of you, which so turn society against you that you have had to live these many years in such deep seclusion?
If we have made mistakes, have we not learned from them? Do you imagine we would repeat our errors?
Drink, then. I rejoice that I have so well selected the subjects of my experiment.
Give me more of this wonderful water. We are younger, but we're still too old. Quick, give me more.
Yes, give me more.
Oh, please.
Quickly, more.
Patience. Patience. You have been a long time growing old. Surely you might be content to grow young in half an hour. But the water is at your service.
My dear widow, you are charming.
Am I really pretty?
Now the landlord's daughter, she came in and we kissed those rosy cheeks again.
This great republic, the money is to be had for the taking. The initial investment is nothing when balanced against the potential profits to be made.
Representative government. We all sat down and then we'd sing.
Can it be that I'm beautiful again?
Justice and equality. When Jones's ale was new, my boys.
Think of it. Ice. Mountains of ice. Floating in the northern oceans.
The blessings of liberty.
Ours for the taking.
When Jones's ale was new.
Is there a line left there?
A sturdy ship. I know just the master in New Bedford.
Inalienable rights.
Gone.
Or Wales.
What you ask is very difficult. You understand that.
Yes, teams of whales.
I don't know if that could be arranged or not.
To tow the ice to the southern latitudes.
And my hair. The color's completely back.
To be sold to sweltering natives at the highest prices possible.
They called for pots, they called for glasses.
If any hint of this should be made public, the most serious consequences would result.
They all got drunk like old jackasses.
But perhaps it could be arranged.
Does this really mean I can throw this hateful cap away?
If your interest in the matter is sufficiently great to provide the necessary incentives.
My dear doctor, may I have another glass, please?
Certainly, my dear madam, certainly. See? I have already filled the glasses. Drink.
We are young. We are young.
I am beautiful. Oh, how beautiful everything is.
I can do anything in the world. Look.
See how strong I am.
Doctor, you dear old soul. Get up and dance with me.
Pray, excuse me. I am old and rheumatic. My dancing days were over long ago. But any of these handsome young gentlemen would be glad of so pretty a partner.
Dance with me, Clara.
No, I'll be her partner.
She promised to marry me 50 years ago.
50 years ago.
Clara, your laughter is like music.
Is it, Mr. Medburn?
Your hair's like fire.
Mr. Gascoigne?
You are beautiful, Clara.
Who can believe what you say to a young girl, Mr. Killigrew?
You know it's the truth. You are beautiful.
My lovely Clara, you're my life. Only when you appear does the sun rise for me. When you leave me, the dark of night falls over my spirit.
A speech for me too, Mr. Gascoigne. How charming you are.
I mean what I say.
I shall be rich, Clara. I shall be able to give you everything your beauty deserves. You must be mine. I will buy
But
you...
how can I choose one of you when you're all so charming and so handsome and so young?
What he promises for the future, I can give you now. Come with me. We're well suited to each other.
No, she promised to marry me 50 years ago.
We're speaking of today. I will be famous, honored. You will share my successes. All the world will admire you.
More promises for tomorrow. What I offer you is mine today.
Yes, inherited wealth and position. Not a day's work have you done for it.
Mine just the same. Clara?
Don't listen to him. I need you. A man in my position must have a
You
wife.
see, for him you're only a convenience by which he hopes to further his ridiculous strivings for public notice.
Ridiculous strivings? You pompous shopkeeper.
Both of you are ridiculous. Clara, come with me.
I love you.
Take your hand off.
Don't touch me.
Both of you, let her alone.
You stay out of this.
I will not have that.
Come, gentlemen. Come, Madam Wycherley. I really must protest against this sort of thing. My poor Sylvia's rose. It appears to be fading again. I love it as well thus, as in its dewy freshness.
Are we grown old again so soon?
Yes, my friends, you are old again. And look, the water of youth is all wasted on the ground. Well, I do not regret it. If the fountain gushed at my very doorstep, I would not stoop to bathe my lips in it. No, though its delirium lasted for years instead of moments.
He's right. It's gone. All gone.
You spilled it.
You must get me more.
Yes. Yes, we must have more. We must go to Florida and find this fountain and then stay close by so that we may drink the water continually.
Yes, we must go. Yes.
Quickly.
Mr. Medburn. I hope you will be comfortable there, Mr. Gascoigne. My dear Colonel Killigrew, you are looking well. And I meant to wear it in my bosom at our wedding. But my beautiful young Sylvia grew ill. It was not a serious disorder. I prepared a prescription for her. She swallowed it and died on our bridal evening. For 55 years, the rose... My dear old friends, I would like your assistance in one of those little experiments with which I amuse myself here in my study. Please be seated, Madam Wycherley. This rose, the same withered and crumbling flower, blossomed 55 years ago. It was given me by Sylvia Ward, whose portrait hangs there.